In the very first video of the Hyliion stock series on this channel, I went ahead and I talked about all of the things that I liked about Hyliion, and one thing that I highlighted was the fact that they were a lot different from other EV companies, especially the ones that have been coming out this year. Well, in today's video, I wanted to jump into that a little bit more. I feel like I was a little bit vague, and I wanted to really clarify on exactly what I mean and give some examples as to why I believe Hyliion is different and better in a lot of ways than a lot of these other EV stocks that have come out as of recently. If you have been enjoying this series and if you have been finding it useful, entertaining, or any of the above, you could definitely let me know down in the comment section below. You can let me know by smashing that like button, and you can definitely let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Our channel's seeing a whole bunch of growth, especially this week, and it is absolutely an amazing feeling, and I will definitely keep on giving you guys this Hyliion content if that's what y'all are absolutely loving. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump straight back into it. My name is Tyler Hill, and in today's video, we will be going over all the differences that I really love between Hyliion and all the other EV stocks that are out right now. Now, in today's video, I will be mostly comparing Hyliion to other companies such as Nikola, Workhorse, NIO, and all of the ones that are a little bit lower tier. I'm not going to really be trying to compare them with Tesla and probably not even NIO as much, because it's just kind of incomparable. I feel like NIO's really established, Tesla's really established, so it's a little bit different, and it's kind of hard to compare the two, and that's not what I wanted to focus on today. What I really wanted to focus on today was the fact that of all the stocks that have come into the market a lot more recent, I feel like Hyliion is the best of them, and so that's what I'm going to be highlighting today. So with that being said, let's go ahead, let's jump straight into it, and let's see what some of these differences are. So the biggest thing that I am starting to get from Hyliion, and the biggest reason I absolutely love them compared to a lot of the other stocks, is the fact that they have actual products, actual proof, actual testing going on, and they are actually getting the process going. Now, the reason I say that is because whenever you look at other companies such as Nikola, I feel like a lot of it is still, it's still concept. It's a lot of still speculation, and it's not really hard proof that's happening just yet. Now, there are some videos of them having trucks and driving around trucks around, but there's a difference between having them in the testing lab and actually out in the society. I said it in my last video, I'll say it again. Whenever humans get their hands on things, the general public gets their hands on things, we tend to destroy things. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like as of recently, we are doing a very good job of just destroying everything. But with that being said, it's very important that, Hyliion is actually starting to get it out into the hands of consumers and really start to see what happens. Once again, it's really easy to say, oh, this truck's going to do this, this, and this whenever you've tested it in a lab under very controlled, variables. But whenever you get it into the hands of the public where we will do anything and everything that probably should not be done, then it really starts to show you where your product is and what needs to be worked on. So there are currently, and from the last report, 20 Hypertruck ERX powertrains being tested right now. They're out in the market and they're kind of just seeing exactly how they do. So it'll be definitely interesting to keep up with that and see the reports that they release and some results that they release from all of those testing than what they find from those 20. Another major difference that I'm noticing between Hyliion and especially some of the bigger stocks, now I know I said I wouldn't talk about it as much, but it is something to note, is that the owner is a little bit more quiet than the average owner. Like I know with Nikola, that's a whole situation with Milton. We're not really going to go into that. I threw a little bit of shade on him in the last video if you want to check that out. But one thing I am noticing is that he's a little bit more quiet. He doesn't really go on Twitter and just constantly pump the stock up. He doesn't say all these good things. The good news kind of speaks for the company itself, and there's actually a piece of that I like. Now, one thing I will say about that is that it could be detrimental in the sense that he's not bringing in as much attention as he possibly could, and maybe he could get some more investors simply by posting a little bit more and appealing to that younger crowd. But at the same time, I feel like whenever you don't post as much and you don't pump all this hype into a stock, kind of like Elon does, how he just talks about Tesla and he does these things, it kind of gives it this hype feeling or this bubblish feeling, which I don't really believe in, but at the end of the day, it's what people say. But whenever you have something like how whenever he goes ahead and he doesn't really post so much, he lets the good news speak for it. It gives it this sense of security in a way. It kind of makes it feel like what the price is at is its true valuation, and it's not just being pumped up a lot just by, social media hype. Now, because we've seen what Tesla has been able to do, go up and go down simply from the things that Elon says, and it kind of gives it like, man, is this too high? Is it too low? Is that the value it should be at? Or is it just at that because he posts about it? Whereas, once again, with Hyliion, where it's at is what it is. Like, there's no unnecessary hype going into it. The only hype really is from the merger, and that's just, once again, natural growth and natural dip, of course. But the thing about it, again, is that it feels much more true, and it feels a lot more clear that, okay, it's not simply valued this high because there's a lot of hype behind it and the owner just posts on Twitter a lot, which I'm not saying that's why Tesla grows, but I'm saying it does affect the stock at all. But I guess what I'm really trying to get at here is that the fact that he posts so little, it makes it truly feel like the stock is going to naturally grow and dip, and that as an investor for me is very, very important. Now, one thing about Hyliion that I am absolutely loving is the fact that they are using natural resources, which are much easier to access. Now, what this means is that the resources that they need to get these things going is a lot more easy to access. They're not limited to their supply. It's not like they can only grow a certain amount because they have a limited supply. No, these natural resources, these natural renewable energy resources are all where they're abundant. And the fact that that makes it like that, one, means that prices aren't going to be ridiculously high. If there's a lot of them, they're not so limited to the resource that it's going to cause that limited resource price to just be all the way up there and making their margins really bad. No, they're using natural resources that are very easily accessible to them. And that makes me as an investor think, okay, that gives them a lot of long-term growth opportunity. And it means that they won't be limited by these certain things, because I don't like companies that have handcuffs, basically. Like, okay, we can grow all this out, but the fact that this aspect of our business is, not so good, or we're limited in a certain way, means that our growth we only have a certain potential. No, companies that have unlimited potential and could grow as high as they possibly can with the right reinvestments and the right team, those are the type of companies that I really love. So the fact that they're using these natural, renewable, especially resources, makes me very, very, very excited as an investor. Another thing that I do really, really love about Hyliion right now is the fact that they are reinvesting all of this investment money back into the company to produce actual products. Now, whenever we go ahead and we look at certain companies, maybe like Nikola, the money that they received, they were using that to continue their concepts and start to create the product. Whereas whenever you look at Hyliion, they already have the product made. They're making new products, but their baseline products are made, and they're starting to really grow on that with the investment money. It really, as an investor, whenever you see a company reinvesting their money into actual products and starting to grow them out, and you can really see the growth, that's what I personally love. Now, I know there are, some companies that reinvest their money into research. That's cool, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but just for me personally, I really, really love the fact that we can see the growth simply from the reinvestments of the money they're getting from their investors. Now, one reason you can look at this, and one way that we can kind of use, get an image of this, is the fact that they now have 700 natural resource stations all over, spread out now. That's absolutely amazing, because if they want to continue this concept, they have to be able to have these stations set up to be able to, add fuel and do the things that they need to do, of course. And the fact that they're preparing that for the future, and they're getting the future prepared for their vision, makes me as an investor like, oh, they're serious. Oh, this isn't just concept. No, they're serious. They're setting up hundreds of stations, maybe hit the 1,000 mark soon. And they're getting this ready because they have this vision of a future, and they're going to do whatever it takes to make that future happen. And as an investor, that gets my heart pumping. That makes me really excited. So the fact that they're reinvesting their money to grow this business and get this plan into effect makes me super excited, really considering they only went public 1 week ago. And one thing that I would say makes them a very, very different from a lot of these newer stocks is a lack of news and the abundance of faith. A lot of people have good faith in this company. They really trust the CEO seems like just a great guy, down to earth, really lays low and just kind of does what he has to do. A super young guy. And that makes me excited, one, that we're not going to see this stock fly up and fly down just based off of bad news. No. Once again, basically like earlier with the Twitter thing, the valuations just seem a little bit more genuine, and that makes me very excited. But at the same time, whenever you look at these companies that are investing, millions and millions and millions of dollars, the fact that they have 1,000 pre-orders from Agility, it's just like, wow. These people really have faith in this company. This company is really putting their plans into effect. And that's why I believe that they are going to be the breakout EV company of the year for sure. I think by the end of the year, we will really start to see that they are starting to dominate all of the new EV companies, and they're the ones that are going to push out. Now, I could be wrong, and if you're a Workhorse fan or if you're a Neo fan or anything, don't hate on me. Look, man, I'm just giving my honest opinion. But I truly believe that the fact that they're making such good progress with little bad press, they actually have a very effective business model. Their owner's a down-to-earth guy who's just going on about his business. All these type of things they make it a stock that I truly see a lot of potential in. If you have any other things that you see, any differences you see, maybe even bad things, I can't find much bad stuff about them yet. So if you have any of that, let me know down in the comment section below. I would really, really, really love to hear you guys' opinion about it. But once again, I would be trying to post these Hyliion videos as much as possible. I can tell you guys absolutely love talking and hearing about Hyliion. So I will keep trying to push out this content as much as I can. It's been a daily grind. I've been trying to get these out every day. If you do appreciate that, you can let me know by smashing that like button. If you are new to the channel, if you stuck around this far, let me know in the comment section, but don't forget to subscribe. With all that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.